Which anime character has the biggest pride and ego on this list? Alright, we have Escanor, Vegeta, Madara, Byakuya, Bakugo, Aizen, Gojo, Dofi, and Isagi. Which of these characters have the biggest ego? Isagi. Now, I might be talking straight from ignorance because I've only seen season 1 of Blue Lock. But based on what I've seen of Isagi in season 1, he doesn't have half as much ego as anyone here. Dofi definitely does have pride, but I just think he's pure evil. I don't see Dofi as a very prideful character. Bakugo genuinely should not even be here, bro. He's just a bully. He has pride, definitely, but his pride feels very childish and it's not as serious as most people here. Matter of fact, I would say he has the least pride out of every single one here. It's definitely not Byakuya. He's very prideful, but he feels more like I don't give a fuck, nonchalant person. I generally feel he doesn't care about most things going on and he just wants to go home. Now, there's a difference between having pride and minding your business. Most people mix that up. They are completely different. But that's the type of vibe I get from Byakuya. Now, Aizen probably sees everyone as lesser beings than himself. I mean, he might be right, but he's definitely not the most prideful person here. Madara Uchiha, he's prideful, but nothing too crazy, Now, the most prideful people on this list: Escanor, the lion sin, the sin of pride, versus Prince Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans. Not going to lie, picking one is going to be very tough. Escanor is pride incarnate. Pride is the defining feature of his existence. Everything about Escanor is pride. His power of sunshine gave him so much power. He genuinely believes with everything in his heart that nobody stands above him. Now, Vegeta also genuinely feels nobody should stand above him. Vegeta will get his ass beat in the most humiliating way possible, and he'll still be yapping about how powerful he is. Like, bro, he literally beat your ass in the most humbling way possible. Why do you still have this much ego? Vegeta is so prideful his opponent uses it against him. If you remember during the Cell saga when Vegeta was beating the living daylights out of Cell, Cell saw it was completely impossible for him to win against Vegeta, so he tried to rage bait Vegeta. I don't know if rage bait is the correct term, but he tried to pride bait Vegeta. I don't know if that's even better, but he tried to use Vegeta's pride against him. He said, if you are this strong, why don't you let me absorb the androids and become stronger, so that way you can prove you genuinely are the strongest. You already know Vegeta took the bait and he allowed Cell to transform. And yeah, Cell beat his ass in the most humiliating way possible, bro. Vegeta would be fighting a character that is obviously a million times stronger than him, but he would refuse help just because of his ego. The reason why most people think Escanor has more pride than Vegeta is because of his win rate. Escanor has a win rate of 100%. If he says he's going to beat you, you better trust he's going to beat you. But Vegeta, on the other hand, has like a win rate of like 10%. I am not going to lie. If Vegeta says he's going to beat a character, I just be like, really, bro? Really, bro? But if it's Goku, I'll be like, 100%, he's going to beat this character. But if it's Vegeta, I'm gonna be like, nah. I'll give him like a win rate of like 30%. But it's not actually Vegeta's fault. For Escanor, there are like only 2 people way powerful than him in the whole verse. He's like top 3, or like if you want to lowball him, you could say top 5. But Vegeta is not even top 100 in his verse. There are hundreds of gods, hundreds of people that Vegeta would never catch up to. And what's funny is, even though Vegeta knows he's not top 100 in his verse, he still genuinely thinks nobody should stand above him. Honestly, if Escanor was in the Dragon Ball verse, he would have been humbled real quick. Imagine if Escanor fought Broly, the difference in strength would be diabolical. He would humble Escanor immediately, bro. Escanor would be like, I am the pinnacle of humanity. I alone stand at the top. Then he would throw that like sun he creates on his finger or something. He would throw it at Broly. Broly would eat that shit up and say, I'm not human, Lou, bro. Then proceed to fling Escanor into the actual sun, bro. Shit like that could happen to Vegeta and he would still come back and be like, I am better than you. You should bow to me. So definitely Vegeta has the biggest pride or ego on this list, or maybe even in fiction.